Welcome to the Voice of Vicious podcast. Welcome to the Voice of Vicious. I am your host, Vanny Vicious. Guys, I'm sweating. Look at me on a microphone, bro. What the fuck? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Voice of Vicious podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Vanny Vicious. We're currently streaming live on Twitch, so shout out to anyone who catches the Twitch live. We stream on official Vanny Vicious on Twitch, but you can catch us on all other streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Rumble, and YouTube. Just search for Voice of Vicious. And on Twitter, Instagram, all of that, everything you guys need is going to be linked down below. Today, I am with a Miami legend. You guys should know who he is. This is Chef Frankie, everybody.
What up?
So Frankie, for those who don't know, thanks for the balloons on Twitch. I'm not sure what that means, guys, but thank you. For those who don't know, Frankie is a Miami chef. You have a food truck now.
Yep.
You have La Hama TV happening.
Yep.
So let's tell everybody, and 305 Crafty.
305 Crafty, always had that.
Okay, let's tell everybody a little bit about what these things are and what you do.
Okay, so Crafty is probably the one that nobody kind of knows what it is, right? Like off the cuff, right? So Crafty is very simple. It's like I do catering for music videos, and like in other music videos, you need to have like a table for other artists to go and picar. You know, it's like not a lot of cooking involved. There's mostly, I don't know, Snicker bars and granola and water and
charcuterie boards and shit like that.
It depends on the budget, baby. You already know, because some people got $5 a head, and then you get, Snickers and granola bars and water and juice and soda maybe, and then some people got 20, 50, 40 bucks a head. And then you get whatever you ask for at that point.
And then you get the fancy cheese and the salami and shit.
Yeah, I'll do all that. I'll do all that.
You make the little flowers out of the salami?
Yeah, so my mom is like a badass charcuterie board person.
Mm-hmm.
And she
designer.
Like crazy. Like this table, I don't know, for like my sister's baby shower, she did something that's like bigger than this table.
Yeah.
Like she's a badass.
Those are like, they're difficult to do.
They're not easy, and they're time consuming. Yes. And people go, "Oh my god, a little 16-inch board for $200." It's like, yo, there's prosciutto on that thing. It's $30 a pound, right? Like there's, I don't know,
the cheese and yeah.
You could go. So like, I've also seen people do like the Cuban charcuterie board that has like jamon, bolo ham, and like some Swiss and like olives.
The cherries that come in the jar. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The syrupy ass red ones.
Yeah, I've seen it happen. Whatever. Not my favorite thing, whatever. And I'm kind of like, whatever. I would never present it. Actually, my mom, if she hears this, she's going to be happy that I'm talking about it. But
she's like, put me in the mix.
One time, my wife's Honduran Dominican. So we had everybody over the house or whatever. My mom came over. My mom is Italian, like hardcore Italian, like real Italian, Jersey, whatever. So she comes over, and then I guess since my brother-in-law and them, they're Dominican, we put like a kind of charcuterie board with like the Dominican style, like salami and like some cheeses and stuff like that. My mom was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, it's nothing.
Like,
Mom,
why is the cheese fried?
Yeah, she's like, this is not a charcuterie board. And I was like, "Mom, there's like Dominican people here. Like, you gotta chill, relax." She's like, "I'm not gonna let anybody eat this. I'm gonna hide this." Like, she was so adamant about like, we can't eat this. This is not charcuterie. So yeah, I guess there's all kind of levels to the charcuterie.
There is. I've seen some Instagram pages that I'm like, what the? It looks like art when they're done.
Yeah,
it's art on a board, and then you can eat it. And sometimes they're so pretty. I'm like, I wouldn't want to eat that shit. It looks so nice.
Now they're doing like, where they get like the pineapples and they dip them in like sugar, like to coat them, and then I don't know, and they're super dope and they're crunchy and
like a glaze or something, like a candy.
Yeah, it's like they candy the pineapples and the strawberries and shit like that. And it's like, we could curse, yeah.
I should have, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, you're talking to me, bro.
I'm just making sure.
Like every other word is fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine I had a new charcuterie board every time I did an episode here, and everyone just like excited. Wow, we'll be getting fat as fuck in this bitch.
Hey, but so I don't know how we got onto all that stuff.
So we're talking about 305 Crafty.
Yeah, 305 Crafty. So I do all the music videos. So if you shoot a music video, holla at your boy. I got it for whatever budget. We make it happen. Okay. And I try to be in every video I can. Not in, like, me, myself, but I try to cater as much. Because usually when you get a Crafty, then you get the catering. Which is, to me, like, is more important, right? So if I do crafty, usually I'll cater the video for the production crew and stuff like that.
Okay. And then the food truck now.
And then the food truck is Black Box MIA. You can follow that, Black Box MIA, just like that. BLK BOX MIA. Just doing like pretty much my classic stuff. You know,
you're still doing the cheeseburger with guayaba?
Yeah.
You were the first person that ever fed me one of those things. You were actually the first person that ever fed me shrimp and grits also.
Nice.
When we made them together.
Yeah.
What was like on a...
It was like a live pandemic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
You know, it's wild. Like, we'll get back on like to like Lahama and stuff too. But like, there was so much adapting going on during the pandemic that was so fucking wild to me. Like, I look back now and I'm like, right now, if they just took away all that work, like, what would we do now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, but I did it last time and I was like, I was doing great. I was like, I don't know what it was, but it was like...
And in every way that we had to adapt, we're still implementing those things now that we're doing.
Yeah, so now it's like when I started, right? So like, I've always started more like restaurants, right? Less food truck stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I said, damn, you know, like, that shit's not pandemic proof, but the food trucks, when you're on Uber, banging, that was pandemic proof. Those are the people that made it through, right? Like, I didn't make it through because I was like, fuck Uber. They charge 30 whatever percent. Excuse me. They charge 30 whatever percent. And like, this is what, I'll tell you what fucks me up about Uber, right? Is that Uber spends millions of dollars on like research and development for their product. So if anybody knows the average like profit percentage of the average restaurant is Uber, and they went directly for the full fucking profit load. Like, restaurants, man, bakeries make 35%, and they have like some of that pizza makes that. Not everybody, a lot of people make 20%. You know what I mean? Some people make 5%, depending what you're doing. And Uber went straight for the fucking head, and I hated them.
Imagínate.
Until the pandemic came, and then I'm like scrambling to turn on my Uber, and nobody even went.
Uber, help!
They wasn't about that. They were like, nah, you ain't like it before, no. So you can pay like 30-something percent, 32%, or you can pay like 20.
Yeah.
Right? But if you pay 20, they show you no love. You gotta go to like page 5 to find your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have it all figured out, and it's all about them. So like,
of course,
I don't know. It's wild that they would go directly for the head like that.
I mean, is it that wild?
No, it's not, because you know corporatocracies are that, you know, they go for the jugular.
Yeah, it's wild because we're like, you know, not fucking rich as fuck, and with, you know, to us 30% is a lot. You know,
when you go on. Right, like the other day, I don't know, my nephew was in town from New York, and he goes, hey, Theo, man, you know, I wanted we don't have Wingstop in New York. He's from New York. He's like, we don't have Wingstop. I was like, here, bro, get my phone, just order whatever you want. And he's like, oh, I'm going to order 20 wings and some fries. And I was like, okay. Like the next day, for whatever reason, I don't know if I went to order more stuff or what, and I looked, and it was like $75.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? So
that's
like
the least, like if you order food for one person, you're spending money. Like if you're ordering for 2,
it's
almost better to just order more food and then whatever.
I ordered like $50 worth of shit. Yeah, they tacos. It was like nachos. One of them was buy one get one free, and I was like, how the fuck does this come out to $50?
That happens to me literally all the time, and I use Instacart a lot for groceries.
I do too.
I don't really like going to the grocery store. I use oh my god, like so much. I will use Instacart for 1 gallon of milk. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I will do that. So I'm in like high pressure food situations a lot more than the average person.
Oh, true. So if you're in the middle of cooking.
Oh shit! I forgot the.
Yeah.
You know, or like, oh shit! I woke up late and I have something to do in 3 hours. Like, I can't go to the store. I just gotta send everything. So I'll do it to Instacart. Restaurant Depot's on Instacart. GFS Foods is on Instacart. So BJ's, Costco, they're all on there. So I they're another one that's kind of like Uber, but which is another fucked up. It's almost like a necessity.
But they have a membership that, you know, you can pay monthly, and you don't have to pay the service charges or whatever they, you know.
But service charges are $5, $7, so they get you with the stick, right?
Yeah, but if you use it a lot, it works out. It
makes sense in that case. But what they do is, because I know, so like one thing about me, if you ever want to know like what anything costs in like Restaurant Depot, like I don't have to look. I know every fucking product, dude. And what they do is they'll put, I don't know, I guess for like every $10 they'll throw $1. So they'll throw let's say they throw like a 10% on every single item, but 10% on $130, box of chicken wings is like $10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then they say, oh no, but we'll waive the $7 fee, but you just hit me with like $130. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In emergency, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, I'm not buying $130 boxes of wings because I don't eat that many.
And
wings.
anybody saw it, like I probably shouldn't even have said any of that shit, because if you own a restaurant or like a catering company or like a food truck, you should not be ordering from fucking Instacart. It should be like emergency only.
Yeah.
Like only emergency.
Well, yeah, because now you're overpaying for.
Now you're drastically overpaying, and then you're gonna look at your numbers and you're gonna notice like, yo, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
You know.
Blame Instacart.
Yeah. So, La Hama, right? So La Hama was born through the pandemic. We just had time, you know.
Is that when I went on it? It was during the pandemic.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was, because Sin was with me. Yeah,
it,
right.
It was actually whipping in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we acquired this budget, right? And we said, okay, we're gonna film La Hama. We're gonna go hard. And then we had a little extra time, and we had extra space and a couple extra bucks. So we started filming. We filmed like 20 episodes of Whipping in the Kitchen, you know, and that's where it was like bringing guests with us. Versus La Hama is more. We go to a restaurant, we eat. It's more like a food show versus like I'm not cooking in La Hama.
Okay.
I'm cooking and whipping in the kitchen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we brought on like all the local, peeps, whatever. We had Enrique Santos, we had you, we had like the Yulis of the world, we had, I don't know, Ayo Juan, which is like DJ Khaled's engineer. Like, I don't know, we had, anybody that was cool with us in our network, and we just like, I kind of was like, hey, what's up? What do you like to eat? Or what do you not like to eat? So I'll just avoid those, and I just cook up on the moment. And I don't know, we had a lot of fun doing it.
It was fun. The episode that I did with you guys was fun. So
we did shrimp and grits on that one, right?
We did shrimp and grits.
Yeah, and then we cooked it live during the pandemic
Yeah.
too. It was kind of like, pandemic was like, yo, we got time. So like,
all we had was time.
if you're creative,
Yes.
like you did shit during the pandemic.
Yes, you had to be creative to fucking keep your business going or your social media bopping or whatever it was, for sure.
I think it was like an enhancement on whatever you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm creative.
Yeah.
But like today, I've been working all day, right? When I leave here, I'm gonna be working again, and it'll be 10 o'clock at night. I'll probably still be working, right? So I have way less time. Yeah, of course, way less time to do any of that shit right now, right? But during the pandemic, it was like if you were creative, turn it up, right? Like, so as long as you turned it up, you were good.
Yeah.
You know, because you had time to get it popping.
It forced everybody to think outside of the box and to you no longer had the ability to just like wake up and go to work. Like you had to figure out how the fuck you're gonna pay your bills.
So if you were like an alcoholic-ish, like you probably got fucked during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't like super ambitious, and like you had like these small problems, like damn, I drink a little too much, and we're thinking about quitting, and then all of a sudden
now you're just home all day,
and then the gates of hell open, and your fucking liquor cabinet falls on your face every morning.
It's true. Like only the strong survived during the pandemic.
I think so too, man.
That shit was crazy. That was fucking nuts. But so with all the different ways that you share your talents, which do you find to be the most rewarding?
Anything that allows me to be creative, right? So I kind of don't. Anything with a deadline is a pain in the ass, right? It's not my favorite. Anything that has a deadline, I'm like not looking forward to it just because there's a fucking deadline. I might be doing exactly what I want to do, but now you put a deadline on it. Back in the days, I used to make music, and it was so fun. The day they told me, hey, bro, look, we got 2 weeks to turn in this project, it was like, fuck. And now it's work, and it's I don't know, it's a pain in my ass.
With the pressure, it's like just not fun anymore.
My favorite thing to do is be creative, right? So I'm not the guy who wants to cook you 1,000 burgers. I'm the guy who wants to inventar, right? And to make 1,000 different kinds of burgers, and then to teach you how to fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I've done it for so long, and like, I don't know, I've been in a lot of restaurants. I've done a lot of different kind of cuisines, and I don't know. I just feel like I've paid my dues, and I'm not saying I'm not too good to cook, right? Like I'm definitely not too good to produce food. I'm definitely not too good. But there's something in me that says like, yo, this is like, why are you doing it like this, right? Like there should be other people doing this. You should be creating. My body, my mind naturally tells me, no, don't do another one. Just go create new ones, you know?
Yeah.
So eso me pesa un poco when I have to be the production guy. It's not my favorite thing to do, but definitely creating puts me right in my comfort zone in anything. I like to paint. I like to graffiti, right? Like I don't say I'm an artist or anything like that because I know some of the, you know,
but you're
the 004 guys, right? Like I got my people that get on fucking giant buildings and risk their life,
billboards and shit
for art. And who am I to say no? I'm an artist. No, they're fucking artists, right? Like go look them up. You know what I'm saying? You want to see some cool shit?
So you consider yourself more a creative than an artist?
I'm artistic and I'm a creative, yes. And if I get the opportunity that I can paint and win with somewhere, something like that, like whatever I used to do more when I have more time, especially pandemic time.
Yeah.
Then I'll go do it, but never am I like, oh, because I'm a graffiti artist. No, none of that, because I got too much respect for the homies out there, Verse, Meps, Abstract, like, you know, there's a million others, you know, that I just, they're all beasts. And they don't just get up a lot. Like, they get all the way the fuck up a lot on the side of a building, hanging from a damn rope.
And they're doing really, really dope shit.
Tesso, Reds, you know, like, I don't know. It's just impressive to me.
Yeah.
You know, Reds is a chick. She's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, I know her.
And she, I saw her hanging off a building. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you got the biggest cojones.
And they've been doing it for so fucking long.
Since I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so I definitely admire that shit. And I don't like to. I like to give people their flowers. I don't like to act like I'm something I'm not. Like, am I a chef? Hell yeah. And I'll go, can't nobody tell me no different, right? But if I say I'm an artist, standing next to Versa or one of these guys.
Like, I'm not an artist.
Yeah, I'll be like, nah, this is my dog, the artist right here. You know what I'm saying? Taught me everything I know. I'll be practicing this shit.
Yeah.
I'm a wannabe.
So how did you start cooking? Like, were you always, you know, you said your mom was Italian. Did she show you how to cook? Like, were you cooking as a kid? How did all of that start?
I've always been very, like, keen to food, right? Like, I was always mixing random shit when I was a kid, didn't know what I was doing. And then, so honestly, I got into food out of, like, necessity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was like, yo, I got a job for you because you could come cook in this Japanese kitchen over here. I don't know if you ever done this, but like, you could do it. I had worked at, like, I don't know, random ass, like, the pretzel store in the mall and shit like that when I was a kid, you know? And so I was like, yeah, I can do food, no problem. I faked it till I made it.
Yeah.
So I got in the kitchen and it was pretty easy for me. You know what I'm saying? I used to have my boss was named Yoshi-san. And you couldn't call him Yoshi. Or I used to call him Yoshi to piss him off.
Yeah.
Like, no Yoshi, Yoshi-san. And he taught me, like, the hotline in a Japanese-Korean restaurant. And it was dope, you know? And then it seemed like I was doing music in that time and stuff, you know? So it seemed like every time I would go broke, which was like the line between broke and not broke was like a few $100 or whatever. Yeah. But every time I didn't have no money, I was like, yo, I gotta go get a job.
Yeah.
And I would walk into a restaurant and I'll be like, yo, I could do this. I like this food. Let me go. And I walk into a restaurant, hey, who's the chef? Oh, the chef is not here. Okay, can I talk to the kitchen manager? Okay, cool. Hey, what's up? Do you need anybody to work? No, we're full. We got employees. And I'll be like, yo, I'll work for a week for free. And they'll be like, what do you mean? And I'm like, yo, how about this? If you need me to work for a week for free, I'll do it. But if I bang it out day one, like, you got to put me on. And, yo, yeah, sure. And I'll get into restaurants and cook, you know? And they'll be like, yo, what the fuck is this 19-year-old kid, like, over here banging?
That's ambition. That's what the fuck it is.
And the thing about the kitchen, right, is that there's a cap in pay, right? When you're starting in the kitchen, there's a cap. When you're a line cook, you're not gonna make more. Like, it just, the restaurant labor model does not handle more.
Yeah.
Right? They just say, no, sorry, see you later, and they put somebody else who's willing. So me, I went through a lot of restaurants and they go, oh, but you know, like, you're supposed to stay in one place. And I'm like, no, fucking I'm not, because they can't give me a raise. So I'm making $13, $12, $13, $15 an hour.
Yeah.
I'll go to a better restaurant and I'll be like, no, I used to be the saute cook over there, which the saute cook guy got $17. I wasn't the saute guy, but I'll go prove that I was. I'll go pretend I wasn't out banging.
You're like, watch me do it. Let me show you.
So for me, food was very much a necessity, and being creative has always been a necessity. Whether it was drawing on books in school, I did nothing except draw on my books and the desk and the hallways and the bathroom. Right, like the music, right, was always supernatural to me. Anything creative was always natural, and then cooking was a necessity for sure, 1,000%, and it still is.
Yeah.
Because when I go on my rants and my I don't know, like my locuras, that I go, babe, I have this great idea, and she goes, oh my god, bro.
Another one.
Like, lucky that I got my wife that is like that, right? That she fucking ride or die no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, all right, babe, like, just tell me what we gotta do. Let's start look about la pinga, you know? every time I go and I do it, it's like that thing in me that just needs to go produce and go like make some new shit. Mm-hmm. Even if I have something. And I'm a little ADHD with my businesses, which I don't know how great that is, but I just need to feel okay doing what I'm doing, and at some point it gets monotonous, it gets boring. Yeah. Or somebody gives me a fucking deadline.
Well, that's what it's about when you work for yourself and when you create a business for yourself. It's trying to reach happiness. Like, we work for ourselves because we don't want to work for other people, because we want to have the freedom to do what the fuck we want to do, because most people like us are creative people. So if we're trapped in a fucking box all day 9 to 5 and we're like, there's so much other shit I could be doing at this time.
And you know, like, something I think about this shit, right? Like I say, okay, I'm gonna keep going until I'm happy, right? Or until like I reach this goal. Yeah,
you're never gonna reach it.
I think the second somebody defines that, right? For me, mm-hmm. or I define it myself, and I get there, I think it's all over. Like I'm gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
Because I need to move, dude. I need to move. I need to be in this process. And I think like what they say, like, oh, live in the moment, and it's not the destination, it's the journey. Like, I don't think they're fucking wrong. I think that we're addicted to the way we move.
Yeah.
And I think that when they say, okay, you made it, it's over now. Wait a minute, what the fuck do you mean it's over? But hold on,
yeah. And
I think that's gonna be a rude awakening for all of us.
I was actually listening to something this morning. It's this bruja lady I listen to on YouTube and shit, and she was saying that ego is what keeps us attached to the results. And she's like, when you let go of ego and whatever, you're able to just...
But then what do you do?
I know. I'm the same way. I know what you're saying. I'm just telling you what she said. But when she said it, I was like, damn, facts. Whatever, I gotta work today. Like, I gotta do this shit. I have to do this. And I do the same thing. Like, I'll set a goal for myself, and then I reach it, and immediately, what's next? What's next? Of course,
before it's done, I'm looking at the next thing. Mm-hmm. Like, so my dad got like operated recently, right? And it like didn't really go great. It just like complications. He's out and he's good recovering and everything now. Okay. But he's home. And he's like yesterday, like texted me like, "Yo, what's up, motherfucker?"
He's like, "What do I do? I'm bored."
Yeah. I know. He's like, I'm trying to get back to work, and I'm like, Dad, listen, the doctor said, right? And it's like, the stress right now could affect you physically. Yeah. Right? Like, you shouldn't be there stressed out. He's like, yeah, but I'm fucking stressed at home.
Yeah.
And not because his own.
Because he has nothing to do.
I mean, he has something to do, but it's not, like, me personally, right? If I have 3 days to complete a project, just know I did the shit in 2 hours on the third day. Like, I'm addicted to that stress.
I'll do it on the first day. In the first hour of the first day.
But like, you do it in like, okay, so yeah. we're exactly opposites, because I'm a big procrastinator.
I get everything done. Like, if I, like this room, for instance, the day I got this spot, it was fully functional the next day.
See, no.
I was like, okay, I gotta go do this, I gotta get this, I gotta set up this, I have to learn this. Like, I learned how to do everything in one day. Like, I forced myself to just get it done.
I'll learn and I'll get it all done too. Like, I think our results will probably be the same once we're doing in motion or whatever. And it probably takes the same amount of time, but I don't know what it is that it's just like, unless there's a pressure on me, I don't know. It's hard for me to move. I need pressure. Like, so a dream of mine, right, is like to buy a house in Puerto Rico, and like, I can't even think about like retiring there, because what am I gonna do in the mountains? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, with no job. Like, I'm like,
you'll go cook just because
I'll make a boba shop or something. Like, put a trailer in front of my house and like fucking stand in the corner and sell boba and fruits, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, my end goal dreams don't align with
your work ethic.
With my ethic, yeah, with my work ethic, and I don't even call it work ethic. I call it like work insanity, right?
Yeah.
Because it's midnight and it's like bing, 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 bing. My brain is like bing, 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 bing.
I know.
And I can't sleep.
I know. I'm the same.
And like, I have a day job. Like, I actually have a day job, and I'm up early.
Yeah.
With the day job shit. And it's 3 a.m, and I'm like laying there, like trying to go to sleep. And it just doesn't happen because I'm thinking about everything else.
Like, part of me wants to like have a fucking farm when I'm older and live on my farm and slaughter my own animals and cook them and get the eggs from the fucking chickens outside and have 10 dogs. And then the other part of me is like, no, you're gonna live in a high rise and you're gonna do, like, I have two very conflicting personality types,
Same.
I guess, and I'm just like, well, if I did make it there, then what do? I'm gonna live on a farm. And I was about to buy a fucking 2 acres of land in the Redlands like 3 years ago. I went to see this property like 4 fucking times, and every time I would go, I'm like, what am I gonna do out here?
I'll be selling eggs, I swear to God.
I swear,
Until I'm 100.
and you could sell the fruit on your land and shit from the trees and whatever, but every time I went to see the property, I fell in love with it more and more and more. And then I sat there one day and I'm looking around like, yo, it's dark out here at night. What am I gonna do out here? Should I what? And then it was to the point where my mom was like, well, build me a tiny house on the land and I'll go. And I'm like, yeah, and then what do I do? What am I gonna do out here? Like,
man, I swear, I'm at the point where I'm 43 years old. I'm at the point in my life that I should probably start thinking about later. You know, I'm never kind of been, I don't know, I'm kind of spur of the moment, very near future type of individual. I don't necessarily, and it's probably a fault, right? I'm not necessarily a 5 years out.
For sure, it's not healthy the way that we think.
No, for sure. If you're anything like me and you think 2 months out, like that's my brain.
Yeah.
Hey.
Any psychiatrist and shit watching this or psychologist is like, yeah, those two have severe anxiety.
Horrible.
Stress.
I know it's horrible.
I know.
And like I could point it at it. I could write it on a piece of paper. I could tell you exactly why it's so horrible. Doesn't necessarily change anything about me.
Yeah.
You know? Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Maybe, you know, people will enjoy that.
Well, you know what? There are a lot of people that don't have the work ethic that...
People that stay home in the bed.
Yeah. Or people that are content with having a regular ass job working for somebody else their entire fucking life in the same position, in the same office, on the same desk. I can't do that shit.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I see a lot of my peoples living their life with the family. They're on the boat. They're at Disney. They take vacation. They use the PTO. They take sick days.
They have all the fucking health insurance, dental insurance. And
they have the jet ski. They got the boat. They got the dog. They got the bully, right? And they got like time for that shit.
Well, they also have a steady paycheck. People who work for themselves is not so steady.
I don't knock nobody with a 9 to 5. I'll knock anybody that doesn't even get up for that.
Yeah.
Then I'll knock you because you're just a lazy piece of shit and you're probably like doing somebody else an injustice, probably not taking care of your kid or like
living off the government
or
like people that actually need it. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't necessarily knock 9 to 5ers because they got to figure it out, dude.
Me neither, but it does suck because most of those 9 to 5ers have a bigger dream than being a 9 to 5er, and they don't go after it because of fear. And that is not, for me, you shouldn't live like that.
I agree 100%. I'm that guy, bro. Like I've had way more failed businesses than I have like successful ones.
I've failed in a bunch of shit,
and it never stops me. Like it never stops me. I just keep going. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fail again. Like I don't go into it like that, but like if it happens, oh fucking well. Like somebody recently, I won't mention no names, but like somebody recently that we all know posted some shit. And I mean, I understood the post, right? And I'm not trying to knock them because they're probably gonna know that I'm talking about them, but it was kind of sappy, you know. Man, I started this business, and I'm so sad that it's gonna go away and the whole thing. And like, I rarely comment on things like that, but I commented. And I was like, oh hey, bro, listen, you did it the first time, right?
Yeah,
you know what not to do. Like, don't worry about it. I fail all the time. I'm proud of my shit.
Yeah, and you don't. To me, it's like you don't lose. You just learn.
I'm never the sappy guy. So, I just keep it moving. I don't even tell nobody, hey, I'm closing the food truck. I'm closing it. Why? I don't tell nobody. You got to figure that shit on your own, bro. I'm not making a sappy
I'll be like, close out sale. Go buy everything that's left. I'm going to fucking shut it.
And the industry I'm in is like, what is it? The Key Club in Corgate was just closed. Like, the owners of that place are like bazillionaires.
Yeah.
The industry I'm in is like one of the hardest ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, for me to fail 10 times, it's like, I'm just starting, you know? Like, now I know what not to do 10 times, right? Like, I know 10 different ways of not to do some shit. I think there's only a certain amount of ways to not do it until you figure out the way to do it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I probably don't always think about it like this, but I think it's just the journey. It's just the fact that
it's all like every day is a fucking school day. Every day is another day to learn something.
You bang your head.
Yeah.
And I got kids, so like to me, I'm proud to bang my head because of the way I grew up the bingo. I didn't go to school, right? Like, I made my own path, you know what I'm saying? And, like, any gangster shit or any, like, street shit that I did, right? Not necessarily gangster shit, but, like, more street shit that I did was never because of my family, because I have, like, a badass, awesome family. You know what I'm saying? It was all on me. You know what I'm saying?
That's, like, what people think about me. Like, oh, she must have severe daddy issues. I'm like, I talk to my dad every day. We have a great relationship. Like, I don't have daddy issues, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I just chose the
I'm
dark
just
side.
Con la locura, like, that's what it is. Like, I went that route, and because I'm a little bit crazy, but it has nothing to do with my parents. Like,
I agree. Like, anything weird that I did was all me. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing about banging my head so much is that I have a 17-year-old kid, and I tell him, "Oh, listen, if you're gonna listen to anything, listen to this. I'm your fucking crystal ball, cuz. I'm your crystal ball. You want to see? I can't tell you where to go. I can only tell you where not to go. So listen to me where not to go, right? Like, I try to give this dude, like, he's a badass. To me, he's fucking, you know, shit. And to a lot of people, too, because he's, like, a leader in his crew, like, with his homies and shit. Hey, he doesn't do drugs, which is, like, number one
yeah,
thing.
you won already. You have a great kid.
He gets good grades in school. Like,
yeah.
Funny story, right? My wife went to I was working, of course, and my wife went to, like, parent-teacher conference last year, right? And she calls me crying. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
What did he do?
What did he fucking do that I don't know about? I thought he was doing good, dude, you know? She's like, no, his teacher said that he's the best student ever, and that he's a leader, and that this and that. And I'm like, yo, this is so dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I burn and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I respect him. So let's just say I've never burned in front of my dad. And I'm 43 years old, and I won't do it today. I'll be throwing the shit in the house.
I do it in front of my parents.
In front of my dad.
They just, like, roll their eyes, and they're like, stupid.
I'll be stoned in front of him, don't get me wrong. But, like, I show him, he always showed me that respect.
Yeah.
So I do the same to my kid. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, like, let's say if they pop in, which they always do, you know, I put my shit out nice and calm. I don't trip. Because I respect you. Respect me. Don't talk no shit about what I'm doing. You're a fucking grown man. You know what I'm saying? But he hasn't gotten into it, which is great, you know? I don't know. I'm super proud of my kid. He makes music, all kind of shit, and I get to put him in these little positions, you know. But what I can offer him the most is what not to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared to bang my head because it's
but
another
it's good
piece
too
of
that
advice.
he has, like, those healthy hobbies, like making music or whatever, and he's doing good in school, as opposed to kids, you know, that their hobbies are drugs or whatever the fuck.
What I teach him is like, yo, like, in the studio is the perfect place to become a weed head, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody is so cool to be smoking a blunt in a studio or
Yeah.
something like that. But the guy with the money, right? The guy with the money, he goes in, right? And he sees, right? He goes, oh, este un come pinga with the blunt, este un come pinga with the Hennessy, este un come pinga, he's rolling, este un come pinga with
a fucking girl on his lap or whatever.
Who's this kid who's sober, tober, right? And direct. He's playing, he's hitting the buttons, right? He's making the shit happen. When he comes to talk to you, he's coherent, right? He was there on time. He left on time. Those are the ones that stay with the work.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys, te hacen la película, but like, so back in the days, there was a reggaetonero named Yomo. I don't know if you remember. Dale, Yomo, ¿qué tú sabes de eso?
I never listened to any fucking reggaeton.
Well, I did.
No.
This dude, we brought him to Miami. We got him a show. Where the fuck? I can't remember where the show was. Cafe Cristal. Okay,
I remember that.
Yeah. Horrible.
The name.
I already told you my age, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm putting some age on myself. We took him to Cafe Cristal, and the dude is on stage with I think it was like Belvedere vodka at that time, with a Belvedere vodka bottle full of water, chugging that shit, acting all fucked up. And we walk out straight as a button. Well, when we walk out, he's all wasted, right? Everybody tugging at him or whatever. When we get to the car, he's sober.
He's like, let me drive.
We went to get tattoos and shit, and he's like, yeah, let me get I want the Johnny Walker right here. Look, this big. And we're like, yo, what the fuck you mean this big? But he goes, yeah, that's my mom. I was like, okay. But he was killing them though. You know what I'm saying? And he was efficient. His mind was clear. And if you're all wasted, nobody likes that shit.
Yeah.
People used to come to my studio back in the days, all wasted, and I just didn't want to deal with them. Yeah. Even though I was smoking, don't get me wrong.
But it's annoying. It's annoying.
I think it's annoying. And, I stopped drinking like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I guess.
It's like trying to take care of your drunk friend. Like, they're stumbling and you're like, what the fuck, stand
up. Not my thing, bro.
Yeah.
And I think not drinking also helped a little bit with the kids, you know, because I have a 13-year-old daughter too. And they haven't really seen me wasted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like ever in their life, really. You know what I'm saying? And my wife neither. Like, I don't know. I think it's a good influence because your kids don't do what you say.
Yeah.
They never do what you say.
For me, it was the opposite because my dad was a drug addict. Like, he got clean when I was 5. So the first 5 years of my life, I saw him like that. Like, legit crackhead. Like, on fucking... What wasn't he addicted to is a better question than what he did.
Yeah.
And that put so much fear in me that... Because I was already like... By the time I was 10, I was like, nah, my family has an addictive personality. Everybody's... I'm like, I ain't even gonna fucking touch it because I know I'll love it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do it. And I never... To this day, I've never done... a drug.
That's awesome.
Besides smoke weed, like,
and there's like a story, I don't know from where, but there's a story about an alcoholic father with 2 sons. One son doesn't drink ever, and one son is a raging alcoholic. And when you ask the 2 sons, right, you ask one son, why are you a raging alcoholic? He goes, man, because I watched my dad my whole life. Mm-hmm. And then you ask the other son,
because I watched my dad my whole life.
I'm sober because I watched my dad my whole life. Mm-hmm. So you never know where it's gonna end up. But one thing I do know is that your kids watch you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they don't listen mimic to you. Yeah.
They watch and trust. There's you got a 50-50 chance that they're gonna be just as fucked as you were.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. And I think my mom there was the balance too, because my mom never drank or did drugs or any of that shit. Pero so off topic now, circling back, with everything that you do with the food truck, with the catering and all that stuff, how the fuck do you balance your life? How do you try to make time for your wife and your kids and your home life and your work life?
I just do the best I can.
Yeah.
If I'm horrible at one thing, it's that, dude. You know, like I said, I have a great support system, right? My wife is the shit, bro. Like, she holds me the fuck down.
That also helps too, because if your wife was like, you're never fucking here, it would be like,
which happens
harder. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot, like, more often than not. See, like, if I'm stuck cooking somewhere and like I was stuck cooking yesterday and I didn't see you yesterday, right? I'm not gonna see you today. She pulls up. Right?
Yeah.
Hey babe, what's up? You got a few minutes? Yeah, okay, I'm in the area. I'm just gonna come by and see. I want to give you a kiss.
Yeah.
And like
but that's helpful as fuck.
You don't know what that does to me, right? Yeah. I'm in the shits right now. Like, I'm banging out all this food. I got very little bit of time left, or like, I'm like hurrying up, waiting for something in the oven, like not doing nothing, just stressing myself out. And that shit's just a booster. I'm pissed off because I haven't seen my kids in a day or two. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then that shit is always a boost for me.
Yeah.
Like, there's no getting around that shit. You know, I'm very like, I don't know what people think about me when they see me, or like people that don't know me but have seen me for a long time. I'm sure they think different things because of the way I look or whatever. But there's nothing, for me, there's nothing else. Like, there's nothing else, and nothing fucking matters. Like, at the end of the day, when it comes to the family, and like my dad being in the hospital for a long time, just help me, like, just put it back in my head. Like, nothing fucking matters.
Yeah, it puts everything into perspective.
Everything into perspective. Nothing fucking matters except that, because you're on your last fucking day, you're like, damn, dog, I should have just been there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the fact that I'm not gonna have that regret, because my peoples adapt to what I'm doing too. Yeah. Right? And my wife will come.
They're your team.
They're my fucking team. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we're celebrating 20 years in 2025. You know, and I think, like, I guess a little bit off topic, but relationships are super fucking weird. You know? Yeah. But it's like, this is how I see it. Like, you have to look at your relationship like linear, right? If you put it on a timeline, as long as the end result is good, right? The whole timeline was just a timeline. Yeah. Right? It's like working out, right? I don't work out fucking hardly ever. I'm super out of shape. But I know you work out and everything, right? So imagine, like, you start off and you're killing it. I don't know, 2 hours fucking later, you can't do another one. Yeah. Right? But when you get up the next day, you're just as strong as, or stronger than the day before. Yeah. Right? So I think what happens is, the timeline is here, right? Everything goes up and down, and then sometimes it gets so down that you let it break without thinking about that tomorrow you're gonna wake up, it's gonna be better than it was today. You know what I'm saying? And I think if people looked at the relationships more linear, and my relationship is not perfect. I've been through the fucking ringer, right? Like, we've been together 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years is a long time to go through shit.
We've done it all, right? Yeah. So I could give this kind of advice. I didn't meet my wife 2 years ago or something like that. I'm just getting to know. I proposed to her like 2-3 years in or something like that. And we got married 10 years after we were together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know her, and she fucking knows me, and she knows my faults. And whatever, she's probably just used to it. She still bitches about it, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's never gonna go away, you know?
She loves you for who you are.
Yeah. I think so. Or she's fucking a super good liar. One or the other. Hi, babe.
Shout out, wifey.
But yeah.
Man. No, relationships are hard. And the thing, like, with what you said of her just stopping in for a few minutes, like, I know that that's helpful because I have friends who date people, like, I'm not dating right now, but I have friends who tell me that they're dating people and they're like, oh, his schedule's so busy. If only he would tell me, yo, let's meet up real quick, 5 minutes, like, right here just to fucking drink a coffee together, and then that's it. She's like, but, you know, a lot of people don't do that. They don't put in that effort, or they think it's not worth it, or that it's not, you know, it's not gonna mean as much as it actually does. Yeah.
You know, whatever, like I said, I'm blessed. Not everybody gets that, you know, and I mean, it's that's what it is now, and it's kind of like the one thing that's remained the same is my locuras and her support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in turn, when she has, you know, she does yoga, she's a yoga instructor.
That'd be a cute tattoo. You put my locuras and then she puts her support on her face.
Don't give her any more ideas.
That's your new like slogan for your relationship.
So like we were supposed to get Tatty, she was supposed to get the moon, and I was gonna get the wolf. You know what I'm saying? We haven't done it yet, but whatever. We'll do all that stuff eventually.
No, now she's listening. She's like, hell yeah! No, we're gonna get the locura thing on top of the wolf and the moon.
Exactly. It's gonna be the locura, and none of it's gonna match it. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it.
So when you are thinking of new recipes and stuff like that, where do you find inspiration? Is it like, cause the guayaba burger, that's inspired by Cubans.
Yes.
You know, we could tell. But where do you gain the most inspiration when you're creating something new?
So, so like if I'm just randomly creating shit, my favorite thing is like pantry raid. Mm-hmm. Like just go in and see what I can make with what's available at the moment.
Yes, because when I see your food, sometimes I'm like, this is stoner food.
Well, 100%.
Like 100%, like only high people think of adding this to this and this.
Also
like,
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I do my best to like not mention it as much, but whatever. Yes, that's.
Well, for me, like if I'm high and I'm scrolling and I see your shit, I'm like, damn, that looks fire. The salty sweet, like what the fuck? That's a little bit of spicy. That's like the perfect combination.
So like I always want to get a reaction out of it, right? So I always think that all food should be cool looking enough in whatever aspect, right? Whether it's just the way it's put on the plate or like the size of it or like the ingredients, that is the wow, right? I think there always has to be a wow in some aspect of the plate. And so like really I look to like Cuban food, right? So this is my thing with Cuban food, right? Japanese food, French food, Italian food. There's progression in the culture, right? Mm-hmm. There's always a new guy in Italy making a new dish. There's always a new guy in Japan updating and making new dishes. Mm-hmm. Like Cuba's fucked.
Yeah.
Like we don't have any progression of food, and what are you gonna? If
they don't have food.
If there is, it's I don't know. It's like more jamon on top of some shit. Like I don't know. I haven't even been to Cuba.
Pan con mayonesa.
It's like it sucks to even have to say that shit. But
I know.
But to be honest, like in my head, there is no progression of food in Cuba. So yo, I might as well fucking look to the classics and try to bang them, right? Like try to make them. I don't know. Let's push the shit forward. You know, like there's minuta sandwiches. You know, usually they could like the real traditional ones. They come in like a pancake style batter, which is not my favorite thing. It sops up all the oil and it's disgusting. I love the minutas though. It's snapper, it's butterfly snapper. I like to do it with panko. I add a little lemon pepper to the panko.
Yeah,
you know, like
you're like modernizing the.
That's my inspiration. It's modernizing the old Latino stuff and then using little things that I was taught over the years by Yoshi-san, you know, in the Japanese restaurant. So I have a little bit of that like Asian like flavor, and then classic Italian shit, right? Like I don't know, like gravy poached eggs, you know, like badass toast, and then you fucking cook the egg inside the fucking red sauce, and then that's like little traditional shit like that I picked up. My grandfather was like a chef on the Italian side, you know, so I have memories, you know, of him like cooking blue crabs in a pot, you know, and it's a red sauce pot. Like it's not a boiling water.
Yeah.
You're cooking the shit in tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Like, that's gas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I look to the past, and I look to what do I think I want to see in the future. You know, and I never want to like overdo it unless it's like. So I had a place called Boss Burger. And I used to make burgers like as tall as this microphone, right? Like you know, used to be there.
I used to be there every like Sunday because it was like my cheat meal day. That's where I was.
And there was a couple things on the menu. It's like, I didn't expect nobody to eat that shit. But it was on the Food Network.
Yeah.
You know, it was on Travel Channel. It was on Cooking Channel. It was on,
you guys had gator nuggets, which was super random.
I made no money on gator nuggets because shit was $22 a pound, and I set it for $10 for like, you know, I don't know, I lose $2 on every time I sold one of those. But it would bring the Broward people to my shit. You know, anybody who Googled, hey, who has gator, like, I don't know, you were there. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. My inspiration is the past, the present, the future. I guess you could say. You know, I don't have like a certain person. It's not like, oh, because I'm inspired by this person who
Chef,
did this.
whatever.
Yeah, I like a bunch of chefs and I give everybody their props and shit. And like South Beach Food and Wine, you see me over there, you know, trying to get a little picture and shit like that, you know. But more than that, I don't know. Everybody looks, I think, to their own inspiration, and you know, some people go traditional, some people go nouveau.
Yeah. I like what you're doing though. I like the modernization of traditional shit. I like it because I've always, you know, I love Cuban food. I'm Cuban, you know, like it is what it is. I love queso. I love all that shit. Do I eat it? No, because it's unhealthy as fuck. But if you're gonna put a little piece of guayaba on fucking meat, I'm gonna eat it. You know what I'm saying?
But like también, how many palomillas can you eat? Dude?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm not like, I can't.
I was in Minnesota last week. Right? Don't ask me.
Minnesota?
Yeah, I was in Minneapolis. Super fucking weird place. I was in Minneapolis, and I don't know. People were asking me, like, some people asked me about like the Cuban food and stuff like that. And when I'm telling them, they're like, "Oh my god, that's so wild and so interesting," and I'm like, I can't eat that shit. Like, somebody, right, that was talking or whatever, was like, "Oh, I went to Miami and we went to a Cuban place. Do you know which one it is?" And I was like, fucking no, because there's 13 in like a, you know, a 3-block radius.
Yeah, in a 5-block radius.
Yeah, and so when I go out to eat, I'm probably not gonna eat Cuban food. I will sometimes, you know, like sometimes, you know what, like Latin America, what is it, Latin America on Pines, next to La Granja, where it's like on Pines and Flamingo. They have the best white rice ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they make the best fucking white rice. And I'll literally go there and be like, let me get a rice and like 2 eggs and like a chicken soup or something, and fucking bang that shit. And it's just about the rice, but I'm usually not like, oh bro, I'm really in the mood for some ropa vieja.
Yeah.
No more,
I'm never in that mood either. The only time I really eat Cuban food is like if I'm in Hialeah for whatever reason, I'll stop.
Yeah, when there's 7 on the block and you're hungry, and
exactly.
It's like, I'm gonna go to the third one. It's always gonna be
at Moro Castle or something and whatever. But for the most, like, I don't really cook Cuban ever.
So that's the thing, is that in my house, it's like rice, beans, steak, rice, beans, chicken. This is me cooking in the house.
Yeah.
My wife cooking in the house. Rice, beans, chicken, or we do pasta,
Plátanos,
right? Shit like that. Like I cook a lot of Cuban food in the house because it's just like, for me, Cuban food belongs in the house.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up.
It's home. It's home food. It's like Latin comfort food.
It's like what you make, right? So when you go groceries, we're gonna do like a blanket grocery shopping list. Rice,
picadillo, palomilla.
That's it,
pollo, fucking frijoles negro, and plantains.
It could be anybody sitting at this table that's from Miami, even slightly Latino, and everybody's gonna give you the same answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I do cook a lot of that shit. So if somebody comes in town and they're like, yo, we want to eat Cuban food, where would you take them? I want to know that.
It depends. If they're super touristy and they want the whole, I saw this on TV, Versailles or whatever, Versailles, that's where everyone wants to go. Personally, I like me a fucking Moro Castle in Hialeah. I like Chico's in Hialeah.
Listen, I love super horrible, mediocre Cuban food.
Me too. That's why I like Chico's.
Me too. That's what I wasn't even gonna say their name. But I'm glad you said it because it's super mediocre, and I go there every once in a while. The pandemic fucked them up. They used to be open till 5 a.m. or whatever, or 24 hours. Yeah. And now they close like at midnight or 1 o'clock. Last time I went there, I don't know if I should say this shit, but whatever. Last time I went there, dude, I always order kind of like the same shit. I order white rice, I order masitas, and I order fabada, right, like the white beans or whatever. And I always get a banana shake, which I hate bananas, but I like banana shake. And the lady, like, in her hand, cut the bananas
No.
in her hand and then put them in the...
I love it, though.
I do, too. I didn't say nothing, but I was like, it was a little cringy right at first. And then the thing is that there was like a little bin with some oranges in it with a towel on top of it. And she kind of just like wiped her hand on it. And that was the way she cleaned her hand. And I was just thinking like, yo, how many times does she do this?
Yeah.
So...
But
that's like the Cuban aesthetic.
Yeah, it's just part of the culture.
I used to work at a place called Bardot back in the days, and me and my cousin used to get out of work super late, and we used to go to a little place in Hialeah. And the first time we went, they were so fucking mean to us, and I was like, "Yo, we gotta come back. Watch next time we come." And like we ordered everything on the fucking menu, and it was still like, excuse me, it was still like $30.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like Cuban food is so cheap.
I left a $50 bill on the table. We came like 2 days later, and we walk in, and the big blonde lady that was our waitress or whatever, she stopped. She goes, "Para, que llegó mi salvación." And yo, let me tell you something. We went there every week for like a long ass time, and they did no questions. They already knew yo quería pago entero frito, white rice. I wanted 2 eggs on the rice. I wanted some patelitos. We wanted the papita Juliana on top of the fish. My cousin wanted a presidente churraco with 4 fried eggs.
For them, a $20 tip is like they just hit the fucking lotto, because. Yeah.
We used to bring our cell phones and shit that we used to find at the club. Like that was, and then we used to make it a habit. Like, yo, let's go find another spot and like convert all these mean ass Cuban ladies, right? Because it just.
You should have made a YouTube channel about that.
Man, it was pre. Like nobody was thinking about
converting the mean Cuban ladies. What do you think of Vicky Bakery?
I like Vicky Bakery.
I take tourists to Vicky Bakery too.
I do too. So I live in Broward. I live in Pembroke Pines, and we have Vicky Bakery, and then we have Vicky. Which
I've seen that.
I don't know how that happened though.
I don't know either. We have a Vicky down the street from here though.
A Vicky or a Vicky?
Vicky.
Okay. Yeah, I have Vicky. For me, Vicky is about like is consistent.
Yeah.
It's always all the time. Yo, shout out Raul. It's my homie. He has the Vicky Bakery on Miami Gardens and 87th Avenue.
Vicky Bakery.
He's mad at me because he's a super hardcore Republican.
Oh.
So he's always mad at me, but he's still my dog. I haven't talked to him in a while, but maybe he'll like the shout out. So everybody go get your good patelitos over there on 87.
Patelitos, croquetas. You know what I really like from Vicky Bakery too is the croissant ham and cheese sandwiches. Those always hit. Like toasted with a fucking orange juice or a café con leche. I grew up eating...
I like the natural orange juice with the pulp. I like the croissants. I like croissants in general though. Like I'm a sucker for croissants.
Me too. I can't eat fucking bread or grains anymore. It fucks me all up.
It fucks you up, or you're just like on a diet?
No, it fucks me up.
Why, you're like gluten?
I have autoimmune shit now. Fuck. Bro, every day.
I always thought the shit was a lie. Still think it's a lie.
I know. People think that it's really not. Trust me, like out of nowhere. Now I can't even eat vegetables.
Really?
Yeah.
The fuck do you eat? You can't eat bread and vegetables.
Meat, tostones.
Eggs.
I eat steak and tostones.
Is tostones a
well, because I eat... No, it's a fruit. It's a plantain.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I eat all fruits, all meat.
So you can do starch. Any starches? Malanga, yuca.
I haven't even fucking tried.
No.
I haven't tried. Yesterday, I had rice. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have some rice, whatever. I had rice, steak, and tostones. Not palomilla. And... a couple hours later, my stomach, it feels like I'm getting stabbed. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm thinking, like, what did I do? And I'm like, I ate fucking rice.
Hey, have you tried different rices? Like, not brown rice, because brown rice is kind of the same
like,
shit.
I've always, the thing is, like, a couple months ago, rice didn't give me a problem. Now it's giving me a fucking problem.
There's this, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know how to spell it. It's Japonica, Japonica, Japonica rice. It's like the black rice. And farro. Yeah. Farro's like ancient green.
Yeah.
You might try that.
But is that wheat? If it's wheat, it's gluten, and I know what the fuck.
No, I think it's definitely gluten.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're both definitely gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not the black rice, because rice doesn't have gluten, but wheat flour fucks me up. So like wheat bread, I have to do like sourdough bread and shit. But
yeah, I'm glad I don't know. I kind of eat everything. Yeah. I never go to the doctor, so it's not like anybody told me, hey, you probably shouldn't be eating this.
I didn't. It wasn't even that. Like I was like literally one day to the next. A couple months, I started getting worse and worse and worse, and I was sick as fuck all the time. But my blood work was good. So my doctors were like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, yo, I feel like shit. I feel like I'm getting stabbed. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I feel my stomach hurts all the time. I'm like shaking all the time, sweating all the time, this, that. And then finally I went to like a holistic doctor.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, your labs are fine, but it's borderline this, and this, and this. Like, you have inflammation, so you have to eat anti-inflammatory.
Sugars. The thing is that people don't know about rice.
I haven't eaten sugar in like 2 years.
That's why I eat a lot of sugar. I drink a lot of coffee. So.
Well, me too. I'm drinking coffee now, but I put honey in it.
Yeah,
I don't do like processed sugar.
No, I'm like, when I go to a coffee shop or something like that, I'm like, yeah, can I just have like the white processed sugar?
Yeah.
Like,
I was the same. I ate however the fuck I wanted my whole life, and then recently I'm like, damn, now I'm getting old. I can't eat shit. Luckily, I could eat meat though, because if they told me go vegan, I'll be like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Bro, you know, so I like vegan shit too. Don't get me wrong, but if like I said, like I'm bad with deadlines and bad with being forced to do shit. If I had to eat vegan, I would hate it.
Yeah,
my sister's a vegan though, you know, so now she likes it.
I went vegan years ago. I tried it for 6 months, and when I saw how much like muscle mass I was losing and like my legs were disappearing, I was like, I'm not doing this shit ever again.
I mean, you need protein, and like beans have protein, everything. Like there's a lot of stuff that has protein,
but it's not as bioavailable as the protein in meat.
I agree, man. It's like if you just look at humans, they've always eaten some kind of meat for them, I think, right? Like I don't.
Y'all listening?
Know. I mean, I'm not a historian, but I don't know. I remember the cavemen. What the fuck they were?
That's literally what it was.
They had to eat from the plants when they couldn't catch the fucking tiger, right?
And then they would eat the animal from head to fucking tail. They were eating the fucking feet, the tail, the ass, everything. They didn't give a fuck.
Listen, I'm not the healthiest guy, right? I was in Baltimore like 2-3 weeks ago, and I went to the coffee shop because they don't have Cuban coffee over there, and I was like, yo, can I just get like a triple espresso and just can I just have the? He's like, oh, we have turbinado sugar, we have this sugar, coconut sugar. I was like, yo, can I just get like the fucked up processed shit? Yeah, can I get one of the paqueticos? You know? But I don't know. I think everybody needs natural shit. And I do know that in every plant there's some kind of healing properties.
Yeah.
You know, I'm aware. Don't get me wrong.
Like herbs and shit and like essential oils that come from plants. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
I think it all helps with something.
Yes.
I think that we destroy it. Do a ginger shot, right? It's supposed to be like pH, right? Like it's supposed to be super balanced and like clean you out. But then
But if you could create the ultimate Miami dish that represents the city, do you think you've done it already? If not, what would it be? What ingredients would you choose? What do you think would capture Miami essence on a plate?
I mean, I'm sure I could invent another one, but I think like, and I hate that, like, I don't want to sound like cocky or no shit, but I think like the dishes I do, that's what the fuck it is. Like that kind of like goes back to like the first kind of question, right? Like where do I get the inspiration and all that shit? It's like, yo, every dish I do is that's the end goal.
The culture.
That's the end goal, and that's the culture. It's like, I don't know. So I'm doing a consulting for La Mesa. It's a super dope restaurant. It's in Town and Country. Right next to like Tap 42 or whatever, in that same shopping center. And I did like lemon pepper mahi corn succotash with red and green peppers and cilantro, and I did like a sweet corn sauce, and I don't know, I did like pork and guayaba with fucking, you know, with papita juliana. It's like that's how I roll.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sound cocky or no shit, but it's the fuck I do. Right, and there's plenty of other chefs, and I give everybody the props. I'm not saying I'm the best chef in Miami, but that's always where my head is at, dude.
Yeah.
Even when I'm doing Asian shit, like there's Asians in Cuba, in Oriente, right? Like it's a place in Cuba, so like my sauce is at La Mesa is like Oriente sauce, and I'll do some fried ribs with the Oriente sauce and some fried rice, and it's in a Cuban restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
What's the top seller in Black Box?
Guava burger always. Wherever you see me is always guava burger. If it's my place, it's always guava burger. Like if I sell it tomorrow and like I say, hey, look, just take over or whatever, you know, they'll still come and ask for the guava burger, and then whoever I sell it to is gonna be like, yo, man, don't get offended. Like, can I sell it? I'm like, yeah, just fucking do it. Like, you have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
it's like the staple now.
Every consulting I do, they always go, yo, what's up with the guava burger though? You know, like, run it. You know, so like. Chances are, not every restaurant, but chances are, like I saw one restaurant that did it the other day, and I kind of like got hot because they did it whack. But a lot of the restaurants that have it, I'm in contact with them because I knew them for something, and like either I suggested they should have it, or I did some work for them and I put it on their menu, or they asked for it.
Yeah.
You know, back in the days it was like with Boss Burger. It was my first restaurant. You know, so I was kind of new to the restaurant game in as far as owning my own, right? Because I had always worked in restaurants and nightclubs, and we had like a beef, like a guava burger beef.
With another restaurant?
With 2 other restaurants.
Guava burger beef.
One guy, he would go on he would go, I'm not even going to put him out there because whatever. I don't even know if we squashed it, but still, it's been too long and whatever. I forgive you, bro. No problem. He would go onto my comments, because I was busting them back then, right? And he would go onto my comments and see my followers that would leave comments, and then he would go to their page, and like, bro, he was just fishing for my people.
Up. Yeah, you can't do that.
So, but what he didn't know is he was doing that shit to people, and they were calling me like, "Yo, cuz, who's this dude? He's bashing you." He said that he had the first one, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not even that. I don't know. I just did the shit. I used to do shit in my backyard. I presented it. Like, I didn't say, oh, the original, or anything like that. I never did that. So if it is, it's his fucking problem. But you know what? Fuck you, because you're being a dick." And then there was another guy, too, who ended up being kind of like my rival in that shit. And one day yo me empingué, and there was a influencer that was like a guava. Her thing was guava and shit. And I was like, she put us all like in a group chat. And I was like, yo, what are we gonna do? And I was like, yeah, fuck these pussies. You know, like, I got gangsta on them. I was like, yeah, nigga, you come to my spot and fucking we'll do a battle here in my spot because y'all got some trash ass spots. We can't even fit nobody in your shit. You know, like I was just going off talking shit. Nobody stepped up though, so I took the title of the Guava Man,
King of Guava Burgers.
The Guava Man. Now everybody knows me for the Guava shit.
They didn't defend their shit, so I
could have been the guy who got beat up over Guava Burgers, but they didn't step up.
All right. So for those who don't know, tell us how you construct a Guava Burger.
Guava Burger, in my opinion, always goes on a brioche. Right, brioche bun, right?
I'm like,
yeah, because I mean the top two. I mean, for a burger, any burger in general should be a brioche or like a potato bun.
Yeah.
If you ask me, right? Yeah. Or there's some certain like pretzel buns that are good, but
because they're not dry.
Brioche usually will hold more, I don't know, more juicier meats and shit like that. Yeah. The potato, if you're doing a smash burger, then it's cool for the potato roll because they're usually a lot drier and they're not gonna let out so much liquid. You know what I'm saying?
But like,
so I would say
the actual bun is like moist. Like I feel like burger buns are just like, I don't know how to explain it.
I like
flaky,
brioche.
dry.
Brioche is made with a lot of butter.
Yeah.
So when you toast a brioche, usually you get a good caramelization on the bun with or without butter or on the griddle or whatever. So it would be the bottom brioche bun. If you're making a smashed guava burger, which is what I kind of do currently, it would be 2 3-ounce patties. Smash oil on the griddle. Smash them both. Wait till there's a thing called the Maillard effect, which is when you smash up burger and then it gets a bunch of little holes. Mm-hmm. So once it gets a little holes, you scrape it off and you flip it. The second you flip, I hit it with some salt, pepper, and I have one extra little ingredient that I put in my shit, which is lemon pepper. Mm-hmm. And like everybody goes, oh, the fries and whatever. That's all it is. And then usually I'll hit it with either Munster or provolone cheese. Mm-hmm. Stack them up. Flat cream cheese. 2 slices of guayaba. And then I cover it, and so I just where I left off. Mm-hmm. So then once everything, the 2 patties with the provolone cheese, with the cream cheese, with the guava, once all that's under the steamer, hit it with a little water, get it nice and steamy, and then I pull it off, put it on the toasted bun. I top it with papita juliana, which are just shoestring potatoes.
Yeah, like crispy little potato chip sticks.
Yeah, little potato stick, but not the ones from the bag, cause fuck that. And then usually I'll hit
the ones from the can.
I hate listen. I don't necessarily hate them. I'll eat them out of the can, but don't put it in my pan con mite.
You don't like it in pan con mite?
I don't. They stick to my teeth and shit.
Interesting.
I'm a little bit weird like that. There's certain little things that I just don't do. You know, and that's one of them, dude. Like I don't, and I don't like palomilla like that neither.
Me neither.
Like it'll be very rare if I ever gave you a pan con mite with palomilla. Like I was hating giving you that.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I don't like palomilla either.
So usually I'll top it with like a little guava marmalade right at the end. Maybe like some cotija cheese. It's cotija cheese, like it gives it like a garnish, and then it takes away a little of the sweet because it's almost like a
salty,
parmesan.
Right?
Yeah. It takes away some of that sweet. And that's it. And then you fucking smashing it. Just shit out that thing.
He says, and that's it, but he just named 37 steps to make a guava burger. That sounds fucking fire.
I could have just said like the ingredients, right?
Know.
But I can't give you the process.
No, but that's what I asked for, the whole process, because hopefully you guys try and make your own guava burger and tag Frankie.
I encourage everybody to. We should start the Guava Gang.
Yeah, start a little challenge.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Start
do like the Guava Gang challenge. Like, let me see your guava burgers.
Make a little video on how to do it, and then people hashtag Black Box or Chef Frankie or whatever, and then whoever has the best guava burger, or maybe they can bring them to your truck and you taste test them.
Man, I've had a lot of guava burgers. I don't want to be the tester. I need to get somebody that I know that loves guava burgers all the time. Anybody I know that loves guava burgers, and have them test it out.
Yeah.
And then you're not with the bread right now.
I know.
Yeah, we gotta give you like a guava burger burrito.
Eventually, right? Like an almond flour fucking bun. No, eventually I'll be fine. Like, I go through flare-ups depending on my life and shit, on stress levels or whatever.
I don't want to be responsible for flare-ups.
No, I'll just like feel like shit after. Like, I'll know what to do later for sure. But
I've gone my whole life without giving anybody flare-ups.
I know.
And like now,
no, it sucks.
But yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the Guava Gang challenge. Yeah, we should probably do that.
Challenge.
So good.
You
I'll
heard
cut
it
you in
here
on that
first.
one. Yeah, I'll cut you in on that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'll fucking go judge. Whatever. I'll get sick. It doesn't matter. And if they make it in beef tallow, they already win. So that's a little hint for you guys.
Beef tallow. You know what? Now that you said that, I'm gonna get some. And I'm gonna use it at the house and make some.
Tostones in beef tallow. Everything. Frying a chicken breast in beef tallow makes it so much better, because I don't like chicken like that. Like, I like wings, but I don't give a fuck for chicken breast, and
like chicken with skin on it.
I prefer thighs and whatever with bones.
Super weird with the thighs though. So I always want to go to thighs for like my chicken sandwich or anything like that. Like that I'm selling. I always go with thighs. And I get so many complaints.
Really?
Because people don't fucking know. They go, "Oh, my chicken is raw." And I'm like, "No, the fuck, it's not.
No, because it's a dark, It's
dark meat.
I love dark chicken better than a chicken breast.
That's me. I always get double chicken dark.
Mm-hmm. Chicken thighs, even if you use lemon pepper, whatever the fuck you use, in beef tallow. Done.
It's the fire.
I'm
gonna do it. I'll send you pictures.
Yes, it's so good. That's the only way I eat meat now, just beef tallow. But before we close out, anything, I'm obviously going to put your socials and everything on the screen here somewhere, so you guys can go follow Frankie and 305 Crafty and Black Box MIA and everything. But any last words before we say goodbye?
Nah, let's get it. You already know 305, baby. Let's go. I appreciate you.
Bye.
Dale.